Namaste, beautiful gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Tayen, and if you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit that notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am going to do this energetic read for you. I'm going to call in some help and we're going to get this reading right on the way. I call in air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, who will be able to give me the information that is necessary for this beautiful reading. In all directions, time and space, past, present, and future. And so it is. All right. So I know there has been so much that is happening in the collective. I know I've had my own personal experience with the new year coming in and the energies. And sometimes order is born out of chaos. I know it may not seem like it. I know it may not feel like it. But however, this reigns so true. I posted in the community section of my channel about two of my really good friends. Both of them are my clients. I've done personal healings and I've also done readings on both of them. And they are in 3D union with their divine masculines, and I'm just so excited for both of them. It's amazing when I see the fruits of everyone's hard work and labor finally paying off for them, and it just kind of reassures me that I'm definitely on the right track in my mission, which is a plus. And that what is true for them is also true for the rest of us, okay? Now, I want to talk about order. Order is the place when what you do works, okay? Everything just seems to gel and come together, and there's perfect harmony and peace in your life, and you feel like you're going with the natural ebb and flow, right? Chaos is when you're in a place where things aren't working. Whatever you do, it just doesn't work. So this is how you know when you're in one extreme over the other. But both extremes of chaos and order becomes a personal hell for any individual who is stuck within either of them. No matter where you go, order and chaos will be there, and your job is to find the balance between the two. 2020 came in pretty intense for a lot of us. The ending of the karmic cycles is still taking a toll on the collective. The dust is still settling. Old people and situations from the past tested us on moving forward, or if we have moved forward, it tested us on where we are in our alignment and on our timelines. Some things that worked before are no longer applicable because we have elevated and we've moved on so many levels that we didn't stay in the old energies for too long for some of us that did experience a mild setback. Then we have some of us that did get knocked down or got knocked back a few steps or two, and that's okay too. There is no right. There is no wrong, you guys. There are no mistakes. Everything is happening exactly as it should according to everyone's timeline. Now, we always talk about self-love and we promote that for ourselves. We tell people, oh, it's all about loving self, but we fail to yield to the power of self-control. Old ways will not open new doors. We are being pushed through the testing period of our past, revisiting us so it can show us where we are in our ascension process. One, have we learned those hardcore lessons that our experiences were trying to teach us? Two, Have we set those boundaries that we dared that no one should cross? 3, did we leave people, places, situation, and things that no longer serves us in 2019, or did we bring that into our 2020? These things and people are making grand appearances for a reason. It is because karma must be completely cleared out in order for you to move on to the next leg of your journey. How many of you really thought that it was going to be easy peasy or a smooth transition? I know that many of you were under that impression, including myself. But you have to realize there's no new beginnings without painful endings. This situation or person that have knocked you off your rocker is not the end all, the be all. Life is beautiful. And I love how most of you chose to rise above it all with grace, with style, and with more speed than you've ever done in the past. So give yourself an applaud on the back, a pat on the back, because you are moving forward. Slow and steady wins the race. We all want to get to our destination, but sometimes we want to bypass the journey along the way, for the journey is more important than the destination itself. In the journey, we acquire skills and we learn how to master them. We make connections with people that we have never had the opportunity or would not have been able to meet had we not already reached our destination. The message here and what I'm saying is that life never goes according to plan. However, it is not an excuse to quit or give up on your passions and your desires that are in your heart. My advice is to savor the journey more so than ever. Don't be so asphyxiated on a particular outcome. The universe wants you to get more out of the situation than what you can even imagine or perceive in your own limited thinking. Do not lean on your own understanding. Even the Bible states not to lean on your own understanding. And it even states that God's ways are higher than our ways and God's thoughts are higher than ours. So, with that being said, from this moment on, take your eyes off of the external prize out there and focus on the inner prize, which is you through your self-realization. Being your true, authentic self helps to alleviate any circumstances that may appear that are out of alignment with your mission. Stepping into mission also means stepping into action. How are you doing with making sure that you stay in vibrational frequency and a vibrational match of that in which you are manifesting, that in which you are calling in? We are not bothered or perturbed by outer appearances when we are in our right vibrations. In closing, before I get into the reading, I just want to say this one last say. Remember that it's always darkest before dawn. Don't let 2020 start you off on a bad foot. Like Chris Brown said, he keeps running with his best foot forward because there is no race when it comes to love. Now let's get into your beautiful reading. There is a lot of conflict, divine masculines, between you and your divine counterpart. And the reason why there's outer conflict is because there's inner conflict. Does that make sense? So within, so without. I feel like a lot of this conflict is mental. Okay? Divine masculine, it's been very difficult for you to gain your footing throughout this whole situation. 2020 is not only shaking up the divine masculines and allowing them to connect to their higher selves, but it's also shaking up the whole collective. Karmics are coming in, making their grand appearances. Soulmates and people from our past lives that we were connected with, whether we were family, whether we were husband and wife, or even just teachers that are here to help with these current energies, to help us to navigate and to traverse through our journey. They're here. They're back to help us on this timeline. Next, we have you in the Eight of Cups in reverse. This means you're unhappy in your current relationship. Some divine masculines are connected with the karmics. Take what resonates. Some are not. Some are just in plain solitude. But I really feel like some divine masculines have purposely messed up the relationship between them and divine feminine, and they are heavily regretting it. They purposely messed it up because they wanted to go in uncharted territory and they wanted to test waters elsewhere, right? And so therefore now they are living out the consequences of those actions. But that doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't make it easy because they know they messed up, right? And so they are still in this constant battle and this conflict between themselves and divine feminine. Next, you have a lot of reversals, that's for sure. This is the Seven of Swords. It's kind of hard to read upside down, but in this energy, it's about divine masculine being indecisive, fearful about moving forward. Well, divine masculine, it's either time for you to shit or get off the pot. Okay? No more stringing divine feminine along. Matter of fact, source is not even allowing that. These energies are being cut off. A lot of divine feminines are getting fed up and walking away and cutting off the energy, not sending love, light, nothing, because divine masculine has been using these energies for the wrong purposes, to fuel third-party relationships and to manifest with the energy with the third party, but using divine feminine's energy in order to do so, in order to gain material wealth. I've been talking about this, you guys. This is nothing new, okay? And so right now, divine feminines are just really fed up, okay? They're tired of being a doormat and getting these little bitty rations that divine masculine is wanting to disperse every now and then when he comes to his senses, when he has a need for divine feminine's energy because he's not casting his own light. He's not reflecting his own light. So he wants to still for divine fem's light. And so source energy is putting a stop to that, because these karmic cycles, like I said again, they're ending. 2020 starts a whole decade, a new one. There's new energies that are here. You guys have came out of a cycle and you're entering into a new, beautiful, harmonious cycle. Okay. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune being here, divine masculine, he's loving the game and the chase from divine feminine, from the other people that he's in a relationship with or connected to. And these other people are competing. Divine feminine is not competing. She's not in competition with nobody because, honey, she's the queen. She checkmates everyone. She does not have to compete with pawns, okay, or peasants, however you want to say it. What for? She knows who she is, and she knows that divine masculine does not define her. Whether he's with her, whether he's without her, divine feminine is still going to be the goddess that she is on her throne. He does not, justify whether or not she has her crown on her head. She's wearing her crown now. Divine masculine had nothing to do with that. That is all source and divine feminine and her putting in her work. That's the name of the game. Spiritual alchemy has nothing to do with being on a twin flame journey. This is our divine mission. This is a spiritual journey, and divine masculine just happens to be a part of it. But he can get stumped out the whole shebang if he doesn't straighten up and fly right. He needs to get off of this karmic wheel. And he will. This will is here because divine masculine needs to be very careful not to misuse and abuse his birthright. This is also connected to divine feminine being a trophy wife. For those of you that are married to your divine masculine, they are staying connected to you. They're stringing you along. A lot of you are prestigious. A lot of you have a high position. Maybe you're a doctor or a lawyer. Some of you are business owners of Fortune 500 companies, and they're using your clout. They're riding on your coattail. So that's the reason why they haven't given up on you entirely, because they know they're not going to cut their nose off to spite their face, even though they don't mind biting the hand that feeds them. What an anomaly. Anyhow. That's interesting, angels. Very. Also, with this Wheel of Fortune energy, they know that this is a destined relationship. It's a divine union. They know it. They have no doubt about it. They never even denied it, right? Okay, next, they're in the hermit mode. We all know what that is. Singleton, singlehood, bachelor, or bachelorette. Because remember, divine masculine is just an energy. It's a polarity. It could be male or female, okay, because it's not gender specific. But whatever the case, they are in hermit mode. They're in this mode of having a hard time of letting go of you, divine feminine. They feel like no one can understand them the way that you do. No one can relate to them the way that you do. So they choose to stay in solitude because they already know everything else out there is counterfeit. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing. And that is it. Divine masculine knows it. I feel like divine masculine is also for knowledge, thirsting for knowledge is what I'm hearing your angels say, on a quest for knowledge and enlightenment, self-reflection, trying to figure out where did he or she went wrong in the relationship, why things cannot come together. I believe so much in divine masculine's heart of hearts. They want the relationship to work, but you guys, this is about divine timing. I can almost bet you if divine masculine was in full alignment that you guys could be together right now. But you're both healing, so therefore you're in this illusion of separation, right? Next, you have the Three of Pentacles. Oh, okay, so this refers to third-party energy for sure, okay? Third party is causing friction in the relationship between you and divine masculine. What's new? We already know that. But this card's giving you confirmation that you're not going crazy, divine feminine. Everything that you think and everything that you feel is real. This is not fluff. This shit is real. And a lot of tarot readers and psychics are not speaking about this because, one, I would say about only 30% of people that are doing readings for twin flame readings are really twin flames, and the rest are just psychics who think that they understand it. But how can you understand something that you are not? Okay, I'm just saying. And they don't go there. And they always talk about the light side of it, but they don't talk about the dark side of it, which leaves a lot of people hanging in the balance. And it makes a lot of people feel suicidal. It makes a lot of people feel insane because they're not getting healed. They're only being told. What are answers when you're not giving direction after you receive those answers? Okay, now that I know this, now what? Now that I know that divine masculine is doing and screwing everybody all over town, what do I do? How do I heal? Because divine masculine happens to be my husband, or divine masculine happens to be my baby daddy, or a combination of both. How do I heal as his wife? How do I heal as his baby mama? Because he didn't sit up here and got into a third-party relationship with the karmic, and the karmic is trying to pin a baby on him that I know innately deep down in my heart is not his, but his ass is so stupid, he thinks it's his. And so now he's stuck even more, as if he wasn't already stuck before this situation happened. How do I heal from that? These are questions that a lot of divine feminines would like to know the answer to. And a lot of divine feminines that are males are going through the same thing with divine feminine getting pregnant by karmics. What do they do? How do they heal from that? How do they come back from that? You see, one thing that I can tell you about my channel, I may not be an ear tickler, and I may not fancy your ears with all these whimsical words. Well, I do use them, but I don't do them on purpose. What I hear is what I channel, for one, and for two, I may not be the type of person that's always 100%, positive. I do bring you the dark and the light because this is what we are dealing with as a collective. This is what I have personally dealt with and am dealing with in my union. And so I got to give you both sides of the coin, because without both sides of the coin holds no value. That's the same way about this twin flame journey. I have to give you the dark. I have to give you the light. I have to give you what is real, because somebody is going through the dark. Someone is experiencing the light side of it, and they are having their grand reunion. You have to become all things to all people, because everybody has something that is happening to them and they need answers. There's a lot of readers I know that won't even touch any voodoo spell work or anything. They won't even touch it because they don't have jurisdiction. They don't have territory. They don't have dominion. They're not in their personal autonomy and sovereignty to be able to touch that. They ain't stupid. The spiritual realm is not stupid, you guys. Trust me. Honey, I went through many rites of passages to get to where I am. Many. You want to talk about spiritual attacks? I've been through those too. So you have to know who you are, because the lower entities and energies know who you are. And they'll test you. So yeah, you damn right. A lot of people are not going to go there because they know how powerful the spiritual realm is. But also, if you truly are standing in your autonomy, you will know how powerful you are and who you walk with. Divine masculine is waking up to that himself. He's waking up to his autonomy and waking up to who he walks with. A lot of these divine masculines are waking up because these karmics have put spells on them. Okay? It's not just the divine masculine casting spells on divine feminine. These karmics are casting spells on divine masculines. And what is waking people up out of these spells, you guys? One is spiritual work, first and foremost, okay? I mean, that's a given, duh. But second, which I feel like honestly is really the most important thing overall, is love. True, unadulterated love, agape, one that is based on principle. Not eros, not philia, which is fine, that's brotherly love. Eros is romantic love, but agape, it transcends even above those two, because it's the umbrella of everything encompassed. That's true love. Only love that God can give. And a lot of people feel a certain type of way. And, you know, when I limit it to 144,000, you know, I think I lost like about 50 people that over 24 hours that in that time that I wrote that video out. And you know what? I gives no cares, because I'm not about to irritate. I'm not about to tell you the truth. No, I don't think that I'm better than anybody because I'm a part of that limited number. But baby, I ain't make that number. God did. So you can be mad at God, not me. And a lot of people, me and my friend, we were talking about this. Was it yet? Yeah, it was yesterday. We were just together yesterday. How a lot of times when you speak the truth and it's not palatable or it's not something that people want to hear, a lot of times people that are in my position will try to coddle or basically irritate or kind of side with it, even though they don't agree with it, because they feel like it will put them in a situation to where they will lose their audience. Well, I feel like the right people are following me. Okay, and whoever I lose, they weren't meant to be there in the first place, in the beginning. And that's God's way of sifting the wheat from the weeds, as far as I'm concerned. You get so many people that are in higher consciousness that get so high up on that pole that they're like, oh, everybody's a twin flame. The whole world would be a fucking madhouse if that was the case. They can't take this shit. They can't take this. They right now concerned about World War III. Do you know that the Bible said that there will be wars and there will be rumor of wars? This has been going on since the beginning of time. You as a soul, you chose to be here in this timeline for a reason. Did you think that we all came here because we all want to be part of a World War III? I'm just saying. Your mind is so powerful that if we all come together and meditate on peace and love, world peace at that, then we can put an end to this so-called war that everybody is so afraid of. If a war does come out, it's because we created it in our consciousness. But as quick as we can create it, we can dissipate it. We can dissolve it, because that is how powerful we are. I'm just the movement by myself. But when we all come together, we become a force. Okay? A powerful force. Because that is just how powerful we have been made. We have been made in an awe-inspiring way from a wonderful, benevolent Mother, Father, God. And the last thing that I need to be concerned is about some bullshit to somebody that don't even have anything to do with me, and I don't even know, and I would never fucking meet a day in life what he done caused. That's his burden to bear, not mine and not yours. And excuse me for being so blunt and frank about it, but that's just really how I feel about it. Okay? When my daughter has to come to me because she's fearful of what is being heard and what is being said, yeah, as a parent, that bothers me, because I didn't raise her to be fearful like that. But yet and still, we still live in a world full of fear, because that's the agenda, you guys. That's what they're promoting, to distract you. 2020 just got here. We ain't even made it a week yet until tomorrow, right? Or the day after tomorrow, excuse me. It hasn't even been a solid week yet. We're already entering in fear. Not me. You can choose that if you want to. I choose not. Because I am setting the stage for the next 9 years ahead of me. And I'm ordering the next 9 years of my life to be peace, love, harmony, and balance. And I suggest that you guys do the same. Follow suit. Don't get distracted so easy. The lower entities and energies love when you're fearful, when you're jealous. They love it because they feed off of those emotions. And I'm going to use my energy and my emotions to continue manifesting my best life. Last but not least, speaking about best life here, okay? This is about coming together and sharing, coming together with Divine Feminine, being in her company, and sharing a life together. Let's go to the other side and see how this is going to happen. $11.11. You can join me there. I have come almost to the conclusion. We have some cards here for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. First of all, why did this happen? I will tell you this before we go to the other side. Why did this happen, Divine Feminine? Why did you go into separation? Why did Divine Masculine stay in stuck energy? Why was he indecisive? Well, it was for your personal growth. So you can grow spiritually. That's the name of the game. You guys couldn't grow together. So you guys had a divine contract, a soul contract to grow apart. Plain and simple. Okay? You have to forgive, Divine Masculine. Forgive, let go. Because holding on to it is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Let go. I don't care what he did or she did. Let it go. Send that person forgiveness and healing and move on. That's my recommendation. Divine Masculine. Why did this happen? So you can follow your dreams. So you can step into your mission, your divine mission. Divine Feminine is a part of your divine mission. Whether you like it or not, there's nothing you can do about it. You already signed a contract. It's like the angels are saying, na boo boo. You've already signed a contract. You can't back out now. There ain't no do-overs. There ain't no take-backs. There is no erases. Okay? You stuck like Chuck. Unless you forfeit your birthright. And then that's a whole different video. Okay? So this is why it happened. So you can step into your emperor position and be the leader that you are. So you can spearhead this situation instead of having Divine Feminine spearheading it. So you can step in your true autonomy and be an autonomous being. And step into your sovereignty and be a sovereign being. Getting rid of religion and tradition and culture. Because these are all of the things that have held you back. And these are all the things that continue to hold you back as long as you hold on and cling on to them. They're all here to suppress the truth, to bind you. Religion means to bind. And so when you step out of this energy, then you truly can be in your autonomy and be the leader and the emperor that you are. It is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a love donation if you feel inclined to, or you can purchase a gift from my wish list on Amazon and it will appear on the channel. I now wrap you in my love and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness, and so it is, everyone. Namaste.